因为如果说有 HOA 的话，当然就会那个，他通常 lender 他不会付，或是有 city 的 citation。city 的 citation 那个 lender 也不会付，我也都遇到过。listing agent I don't care， 你自己 find out。哎，如果有 HOA， 你亲自去问 HOA， 他多久没付钱？你不要问说，你反正多久没付总共欠多少钱嘛。City 的话，他有没有 citation？ 你 City 问一下，反正问一下这个 property 它的 history 是不是都正常或怎么样嘛，这样子。因为这个来讲，一方面是保护，因为 short sale 来讲的话是非常黑暗的。你知道通常来讲的话 ，short sale 是这样 ，listing agent 会很想做 double N， 因为怎么样？通常我们 commission 会被 cut，lender 会 cut， 啊，有时候 lender 会 cut。然后呢，你为什么做 double N 的话？因为怎么？我比较好 control。如果是有别人送过来，我很难 control， 因为这时间上，而且怎么样？你 control 不了的时候，人家客人就跑了，时间太久了嘛。啊，这，对，你自己要买就可以。你说你这样的话 ，let me know。对，有时候你自己是 agent， 你为了要买 short sale 的话，千万别自己代表自己做 agent， 让 listing agent 去做。哎呀，怎么不对吗？这是 cap。哦，我知道了，真的就这样。有一个，奇怪，咚咚咚咚咚，谁碰的这些？今天我们 continue 了那个 residential listing agreement。residential listing， 哎，我的这个。有没有人没有？上个礼拜没有拿到 copy， 你们都有哈？你没有，没关系。好，来，我给你。这个 print。有送 ，good。
今天 UC Berkeley 放榜，紧张的要死。
哎，别紧张，儿孙自有儿孙福 ，Yeah，it's okay。因为在美国，你不用担心，行行出状元。对了，现在是真的很难了，比我当初在念的时候真的是难。对，我们那时候真的也是混进去的，就不小心申请到了。以前的 GPA 不用太高也申请到。哎，对，哦，对啊，哎，当初我们来讲连4都没有。那时候我们4都没有，你也混进去了。你去那个copy machine， 不是楼上，你知道楼上有 copy machine。你这边转过那道墙后面来讲，应该在那里看一下。哎，不用。你知道我们以前来讲同学是怎么样哈？先去念2年 community college 之后转 UC Berkeley。 所以这个来讲的话呢，有一点你不用担心什么，我觉得念大学是一回事，大学念的课东西都是 history。因为现在是资讯爆炸的时候，你如果没有 continue educate yourself 的话，其实真的没有用。你不要以为说念完大学，就像你考到执照 ，Oh yeah，am I？you're nobody， 就是这样子。大学也是一样，如果你没有 continue educate 你自己的话，真的没有办法。有了哈。Berkeley 其实开销还蛮大的。如果说去念，其实他看也depend看什么系啦。就是说 Berkeley、UCLA 的话，那附近的房子、housing 什么都很贵。如果去Irvine 也便宜不到哪里去啊。San Diego， Davis， Riverside， 我我那来，我念2年 Riverside 哦，哦，骂错人喽。不，你不要小看哦，现在的 UC Riverside 比我们现在好，比我以前念好很多。我以前前2年 UC Riverside 之后，我再转到 UCLA。那个 UC Riverside 以前来讲，那时候学生不多，哦，那我那时候一开始念 Double E 的嘛。那现在来讲的话 ，Riverside 有 Pre-Med 有什么很多了。现在 Riverside 那边 housing， 你如果注意看，盖很多。你想想看，当然了，以前那时候很便宜。因为我们来讲，我自己可以自给自足嘛，一个 quarter 才400块学费。现在是快1万块。哎呀，而且那时候 apartment 我才租，我那租很大哦，one bedroom 客厅厨房这样300块。You're right， yeah， 真的。所以而且那时候我在学校打工，那时候我做是1小时10块钱 ，That's a lot。那时候 minimum wage $3的时候，我做10块钱1小时，我当然可以自给自足啊，yeah。现在很难吧 ？Yeah，I know。Okay, benefit for using the MLS, impact for option out of the MLS, presenting all offers. Okay， 这很重要 ，presenting all offer， 很多 listing agent 有时候 offer 一进来藏起来了 ，stash offer。What is the MLS? The MLS is a database of the property of a sale that is available, disseminated to and accessible by all other real estate agents who are participate or subscribe to the MLS. Property information submitted to the MLS describe the price, terms, and condition under which seller property is offering for sale, including but not limited to the listing broker's offer compensation to other broker. It is likely that significant number of real estate participants in any given area are participate and subscribe to the MLS. MLS may also be part of a reciprocal agreement to which other multiple listing services belong. Real estate agents belong to other multiple listing services that have reciprocal agreement with the MLS. Also have access to the information submitted to the MLS. MLS may further transmit listing information to internet site that posts property listing online. So that's why we can actually using the matrix. If you know, do you know how can we check on the Northern California multiple listing service through our matrix? Yes, we could. That's why we call reciprocal. So actually you can access to the Northern California or Central California. But some of the area, they just don't want to mix with us. For example, like Santa Barbara. They've been their own. I mean, we just cannot get in. They have their own MLS. They didn't really, share to anybody. So if you submit an offer for your client in Santa Barbara, make sure you submit the CPC form. Otherwise, you may not get paid on your commission because you don't belong to them. So that's why we are going every transaction, why our office required a CBC form signed by the listing party, because it's protecting us. Make sure we get paid at the end of escrow. That's why. Doesn't matter, we are in the local area. I know we got MLS protected, but who knows? Just in case. exposure to the buyer through MLS. Listing property with an MLS exposed to the seller property to all real estate agent and brokers and their potential buyer client who are participant or subscribe to the MLS or a reciprocal MLS. Okay. So basically MLS, if like Zillow, Trulia, they purchase the data, we can, you can also see it. Just like, but I mean, on the other hand, some of the agent I told you last time, they may not join the board and they just, look at the Zillow or Trulia. We're using more like their MLS. Yeah. And they call you, how much do we get paid? That's a listing agent. Closer, private listing, clubs, and group. We try not to do that because that would hurt actually the exposure for the seller. Because if you, what we call the close private listing club, in like our office intranet, we can actually spread it out within our office. That's considered close, within our office. Close or private listing clubs group are not the same as MLS. The MLS referred to above is accessible to all eligible real estate license and provide board exposure for the licensed property. Private and closed listing clubs or groups of licensees may have been formed outside of MLS. Private and closed listing club or groups are accessible to a more limited number of licensees and general offer less exposure for listing property, whether listing property through a closed private network or exclude in the MLS, is advantages and disadvantages to seller, and why should be discussed with the agent taking with the seller listing. Because that actually you need to explain. Some of a seller, they say, I don't want to put on the listing, but I want to put on the Zillow. Did you ever see those listings? Yeah. But according to the Zillow and the MLS regulation, without putting the MLS to the listing without put on the matrix, we cannot really put on the Zillow. But what we can do to tell seller, you upload it to Zillow and leave me as a listing agent on my phone number, but I cannot load it for you, upload it for you. Okay. Well, if we get those stingy seller, it's not going to cost to you, but I don't know why they think, some of the people, they think the Zillow may be more effective than the MLS. I said, huh? Which part you don't understand? The MLS actually accessed by all agents, and Zillow, well, because I only want to pay 2% commission for both parties. Huh? What are you talking about? 1% seller, listing agent, 1% buyer's agent? Well, that's the situation. So if you are want to take those listing, then what do you end up with? You cannot afford it to put on the MLS. People look at you. Oh, you're so pathetic. You only offer me 1% commission. Anybody want to show? Not me. But if you really take those listings, then okay, the other way around is Zillow. Sometimes I would do that as if I have those seller, because I thought a lot. Even I didn't really facing those situations, but I have a strategy for those seller. Oh, you want to pay me 2%? Okay, then I'll just put, then I get you free. Since you don't pay me enough, you are not qualified to send it to the MLS. I'll put you to the Zillow. Okay, then see if I can double end. I tell you right now, I'm going to double end. I'm not going to let any other agent to share my commission. 2%, that's, really small for both sides. I have to double end it until you change your mind. You increase the commission. Then we put on MLS. In the meantime, you let them sign in the seller excluded MLS on that form, because you're going to delay anyway. You basically, you tell them and say they're not going to put on the MLS. But I mean, if, for example, if like under Remax on the corporate office, also have they also have our listing, but that's also considered close. I mean, certainly you can just upload it to the corporate office listing without putting on the MOS. But actually, that was hurting the sellers because you got a whole lot less exposure than others. Sometimes you actually explain to the seller. You put on the MLS. Actually, all the private sector publication, they will pay our MLS to get the information. And what happened? Spread worldwide, not just nationwide. Worldwide now. Because you see, if you see some Zillow or something, they will actually translate to Chinese. So they co-op with some of the website, the housing website in the China, so they can actually see it and translate everything to Chinese instead of English. Then you actually benefit that. But if you just keep a close group, it's not going to happen. Yeah. Not listing property in the local MLS. Ooh, that's even worse. If the property is listed, just like, when you list it, on this, not only that, Southern California, you can see it. Northern California, everybody, they can actually see it. If the property is listed in the MLS, which does not cover the geographic area where the property is located, then the real estate agent and broker working that territory, the buyer they represent looking for the property in the neighbors may not aware of property is for sale. Used to be. Actually, we all reciprocal, we in the whole California, we all have a reciprocal, listing. So actually we can all share the information. Used to be when our territory, that's probably say 15 years ago. If I have a listing in Irvine, I have to send the money, everything, and I write it down, the form, the MLS form, okay? Send it to their board, and I pay them, put on the listing on their, reciprocal. I mean, their multiple listing service. Used to be they call CRMLS. Yeah, so even Irvine, that's close enough. It's not mixed though because it's Orange County. Used to be LA County is their own, be only part of Riverside, San Bernardino County form a little bit. If you look at the matrix MLS, when you get in, you got lots of logo on the top, probably more than 10. That's each one of them is a private MLS, and now they form together. We all share the information together. Yeah. Other than that, used to be it's pretty hard. It's really hard to share. But if you have, I'm not so sure in Santa Barbara when it's going to join us, but if you have a listing in Santa Barbara, you better go to their board. Here's a listing. I'll pay you and put on your local, MLS. Option out the MLS. That means totally you don't want to put on the listing on the MLS. If the seller elect to exclude the property from the MLS, seller understand that they acknowledge that real estate agent and broker from other real estate office and their buyers client who have access to the MLS may not be aware that a seller property is offering for sale. B, information about the seller property will not transmitted from the MLS to various real estate internet sites that are used by the public to search for the property listing. C, real estate agent, broker, and members of the public may be unaware the term and condition under which seller is marketing the property. So that means if you don't put on the MLS, what else you can do? I mean, can you tell the seller, okay, I can only stick the for sale sign? If the seller doesn't, no, I don't want you to stick the for sale sign. How do you want me to sell your house? I can. You tell me that what? Hosting an open house every weekend? Well, maybe if the Hacienda High, Rolling High area, okay, maybe I can still sell it. A Riverside, good luck. It depends on the area, and I know a lot of a seller, even I have a seller say, hey, they people, last time I tell them the Redfin, they advertise at 1%. So what they got is 1%. They thought 1% it will take care of everything. Well, 1%. What do you want me to do on 1%? I said, why don't you keep it? You sell it yourself. Yeah. I personally, I don't want to cheap selling myself, put it this way. I consider this as a career, as a profession. It's not cheap labor, put it this way. Our job is under the high pressure. You know, especially when you deal with the transaction, you know, a lot of pressure can get in. And also, who knows? We may facing some case lawsuit in the future. And that is something the seller or buyer they will never understand. Why we charge you to, you know, to sell it, because who knows, down on the road years later, yeah. That's why we have E&O insurance protecting us. Who pay? Yeah, we pay by every transaction. Same thing. Reduction of exposure. Any reduction to the exposure of the property may lower the number of the offer, negatively impact the sales price. So definitely, the last exposure, you got, you know, lower price. Presenting all offers. Seller understand that broker must present all offer received from seller's property unless seller gives broker written instruction to the contrary. By sometimes, you know, by wording is not enough though. Just telling you. I rather say, oh, you don't want me to accepting any offer? Sometimes the seller says, we got enough offers. That's it. You know, you don't have to accept more offers. I say, fine. Why don't you text me or write me the email, something in writing? I have. Then I will stop. When somebody calling, oh, we are not accepting any backup offer, for example. No more offers. Then you know, they got plenty of offers. Yeah. Those are, used to be doesn't have those bracket, you know, the box here. So this time we are emphasize this, you know, so many, you know, category and emphasize to the seller. Make sure they understand why it's so important. We put your listing on the MLS. But this, why, you know, usually when I make a cover sheet, I got a red cross here, okay, red mark. But this one doesn't have because it's optional. It's not requirement. Well, seller doesn't have to agree. Okay, fine. But 99.99% I have the seller sign it initial anyway. Okay, B. MLS rule generally provide a resident real property vacate lot listing be submitted to the MLS within 2 days or some other period of time after all necessary signature has been obtained. On the listing agreement, broker will not have to submit this listing to the MLS if, with that time, broker submit the MLS an appropriate form to sign by the seller. What appropriate form? Here we go. Seller elect to exclude the property from MLS as provided a CAR form, SELM, or local equivalent form. If you delay more than 2 days after you sign this, you gotta have a seller signing the SELM form. Because to the rule, within 2 days, you gotta put on the MLS. Yeah, used to be we don't have that, you know, wow, we sign it, sometimes wait about a week or two. I gotta wait until the house is clean, gotta remodeling. I gotta wait until my relative's gone, then I put on the MLS, you know, for sale. Then it could be a month later. But I do encourage you, get the listing contract signed first. Because if you wait until a month later, who knows what's gonna happen? Your seller could be gone without a listing agent. Uh-oh, you just lost a deal. Okay, been there, done that. I learned from the hard way. Even the house is going to be for sale. Months later, sign the listing first. If seller willing to work with you, then show me you're sincere. Want me to sell your house? Sign it. I'll put your market 3 months later, for example. Then you sign a SELM. Okay, we'll do it 3 months later. Then you're okay. You're protected. But during this 3 months, you can market it yourself. You never know. There's 3 months. It's your chance to double end the deal. Because the that's the last page, you know, I printed out to you, you know, for the listing package, you know, for the last page. That's SELM. Usually, you know, we actually using more and more because 2 days is fast. Okay. Yes. I don't put beginning day. Yeah, I just put, if you look at the, when I cover that, the last page of SEOM, I will put 4 months later, just in case they delay. Or even put half year. Because they can put whatever the day desire, whatever the date or days, or they never want to be on MLS, just like, for sale by owner, or if they don't want to be on MLS. You can actually sign a listing and then, okay, fine, at this time you don't want to be on MLS. But if you change your mind, willing to pay more on a commission, then we'll put on MLS. Yeah, you can always change it later. But I mean, you actually do it, whatever their desire, their decision is, then put on the SEOM. Just in case someone challenge, why we need that form is because just in case someone challenge you, okay, some nosy agent like me, they was wait a minute, okay, something wrong with this, it doesn't feel right. Then you can, protect yourself. Did you ever see those MLS? Some listing agent, they prepared that listing probably 2 weeks ago. When they hit it, it's been 14 days already. Did you see that? I said, wait a minute. And you know what? You cannot change the day back. They just, believe me, they were waiting for the warning from the MLS. Because what it's telling you, oh, so you actually wait 2 weeks to put on the MLS, right? Okay, show me the SEOM. Aha. Oh, I prepared it ahead of time and I just signed the listing. And I said, wait a minute, no. You could prepare the listing. Legally, you shouldn't. That's why I'm telling you, before you're signing the listing agreement, which form you got to sign first? Agency disclosure. Without signing the agency disclosure, you're nobody. And can you prepare the listing on the MLS? Not even. Well, but a lot of people, they forget changing the date. I mean, every time you say incomplete. I know. You can save it incomplete. Nobody know. All right? But once you upload it, everybody know. But when you upload it, the day I forgot to change it, that's my preparation day. Oh, too bad. You cannot change it. So before you upload it, double check, triple check, what is your starting day? Because your starting day, usually they were starting a preparation day on the MLS, and you save there. Okay? Usually I would do that. I save the listing before I actually complete everything, take a photo, then I upload everything. But before I upload it, I was changing the day of the uploading day, not my previous preparation day. Be careful of that. Then nobody can challenge me. Oh, yeah. I signed a listing agreement. I uploaded right away. Yeah, sounds like that. Sometimes you sign a listing a long time ago. But when I uploaded, I don't want to bring my trouble. And I don't like to see, I believe nobody likes to see 3 weeks when you upload. Oh, how many days? So the first thing, and when those data spread it out to other private publication, they thought the house has been on the market for a while. How come it's not selling? Right? I rather see 0 day. Sometimes I even purposely wait until 12 o'clock or 12:01. Okay, click, enter. So I got whole day. Yeah. So that means it's the yeah. No, SEON broker, we got really careless. MLS. Now, well, our company do that. If someone challenge you or someone give you a violation, then if not, then you get the violation. 1, 2, or 3, then you start paying. Oh, someone challenge you, MLS challenge you. Just like those. Remember, if like if 2 weeks later, if you click it, you already got 2 weeks. You know what is MLS? First thing, give it a warning. Show me SEOM. I know. That's why we sign it first. We don't want anything happen, but we keep it just in case. Most likely, it's not the agent challenge you, because who actually challenge you? Somebody notify the MLS. MLS will investigate. Like any MLS violation, who reported? Agents. then MLS have to investigate, see if it's a really violation.
What I mean is that when MLS challenge the agent, and as long as agent can provide that SEL, that's okay. It's
Yes.
necessary just to submit that.
No. You don't need to submit it when you are. Yes, I know some of agent, they are so great. Every time they submit it, when they delay, they submit it. For what? It's been 2 weeks. I'd rather have a 0 day instead of for 2 weeks, right? Then what do I submit? Well, you could though. Once you submit it, say, wait a minute. Then MLS says, you say 0 day, and your listing agreement is signing 2 weeks ago. You get a SCOM later. Okay, that is the time. So when you submit it, not just a SCOM, you're gonna submit the listing agreement and SCOM. Then you put on the for 0 day, then everything's okay because they said because they delayed, and that's why I put on the MLS today instead. But usually is the when somebody challenge you, you submit it, but you can volunteer to submit it if you want to. It's up to you, but not me. I say, it's too much hassle and time. C, MLS rules allow the MLS data to be made available by the MLS to additional internet site unless broker give the MLS instruction to the contrary. Seller acknowledge that for any of below option out instruction to be effective, seller must make them a separate instruction to broker signed by the buyer. Specific information that can be excluded from internet as permitted by or in accordance with the MLS is as follows. So the C, actually, if you look at our SCOM, especially on the paragraph 7, those are, you are assigning either the days, how many days of delay, how many dates you are going to be put on MLS, the delay, and the or you never be on MLS. So number 1, property availability on the MLS. Address on the MLS. Okay, now we have different form. Some of I never see the seller. They don't want to disclose their address. They say, how do I know which house for sale? Yeah. But legal wording, yeah, they could do that. They don't want to, exposure to your address. Then for what? Seller can instruct the broker to have MLS not display the property or property address on the internet. And seller understand that either or this option out would mean consumer searching for listing on the internet may not see the property or property address in responsive to their search. So the form we're going to use this is the SELI on the bottom, internet. We got it as SELM, that means not on the multiple listing service, but this one is SELI. They are not going to be on the internet. Sometimes they don't want to have a photo or interior photos or address, anything. Or they don't want to be on the internet for good. So that means is they are allowed to be on the MLS, but they don't want to be on Zillow, Trulia, or any others. That is considered internet. So it's 2 separate forms. Then when you, especially as a listing agent, when you upload a listing, then you cannot click everything yes, on the tab, on the tab number 4 on the top, on the bottom, on the part, for what they can upload, what you cannot upload. You gotta say no to that. Default is yes. Everything is yes. Then you gotta change to no. When you change to no, you know what's the MLS rule? They will automatically they tell you, you gotta show me SCOI. MLS will request that form. Show me the what. Since you click no, then I gotta see the proof. The SCOI. 2, feature option out. Seller can instruct the broker to advise the MLS that the seller does not want Visitor to MLS participant or subscriber website. Electronic display the property listing to have the feature below. Oh, I don't want to show my feature. Only show how many bedroom and whatever the housing feature don't show. Okay. So understand that this option now apply only to the website electronic display of MLS participant subscriber who are real estate broker and agent member of the MLS. 2. The other internet site may or may not have the feature set forth here. And 3. That neither broker nor the MLS may have the ability to control and block such feature on other internet site. Just like, if we click everything yes, default is yes. You send to Zillow or Trulia, you cannot block their photos. You tell them and say, some of a buyer after the close of escrow, they want us to call Zillow or Trulia. Can you have them to remove my interior photos or all the photos? You could, but not me. I cannot help you do that because I'm the agent. Well, Zillow and Trulia, they want owner to call them. Then they can remove it because when they bought that, data from the MLS, they bought a whole package. So the photos become their property, not MLS or our property anymore. C, comment and review. The ability to write a comment and review about a property on those sites or the ability to link another site contains such comment or review if the link is immediate conjunction with the property display. Yeah, some people don't like that. Who knows, some other agent probably put in a bad review. So they don't want to display it on that. B, automate estimate on value. Zestimate, right? Okay. The ability to create an automatic estimate value or to link another site containing such as estimate of value if the link is in immediate conjunction with the property display. Seller elect to option out the certain internet feature to provide the CAR form, SCLI, and local equivalent form. Do you think you like to have a Zestimate? Yes or no? Well, half-half, if to me, because depend on how the Zestimate looks. If you are representing the buyer, if the listing price is lower than the Zestimate, what it's telling you? Good deal, jump on it. Even I know it's over asking price. Oh, personally, you think it's over. It is over market, but Zestimate is not going to be accurate. Put it this way. If any private sector estimate is going to be accurate, I'm so sorry, guys. You and me, we are out of job. Buyer, seller, they can all deal with themselves. But I think so far I cannot really see anything can replace us. It's because even AI, artificial intelligence, they cannot really determine not just the I know that artificial intelligence, they can, getting better on the social skill, but it's hard to determine the location, the floor plan, the condition of a house. And a lot of people was which side are facing, then where's the door, everything. I know even we got a 3D, virtual tour now. Feel like you walk into the house. Even later on, we can all wear the AR. Then it's really 3D vision because so far we see the computer still 2D. Even we can see that, okay, you feel like you get into the house. But one thing you cannot really do it is like when buyer get in the house, they are not just by seeing it. What else? Feel it. The environment, how they feel about the neighborhood, how they feel about the housing. Did you ever get in the house so cold? Or get in the house is welcome, warm. And that cannot be replaced. Okay? I try not to get into more, spookies situation, but it may happen. Okay? Especially bigger, older house. The door is actually closing by themselves. Yeah. Okay. But that's what I heard. Some of a senior, the realtor, they all have this experience though. Sometimes, we went in the house, it's cold. Yeah. Right? Even, we're the hot person. You feel like, ooh, I can feel something, the coldness from the house. Then did you ever see those buyers when they get in the house, they feel dizzy? And say, James, let's get out. Goes, okay. Oh, yeah. So I cannot feel that, and they can. Yeah. So everybody's different. And that is something you cannot replace it, the AI, and they cannot do it as estimate either. They can probably do a lot on the estimate, on the value. But the issue is, for example, income property. The estimate, they can only approach from the value of a property. They will never approach from the rental payment. So no wonder none of the income property is worth the value to them. Because most of income property is so old. $2 million, and what's his estimate? $800,000. Well, how come it's way off? Well, because it's old building. They depreciate. But so what on depreciate? Because the location drive the rent up. Then what I end up with? The value for the property. The income property, they look at the income, the rental income, not the building itself. Just like I read an article yesterday, a lot of people say the Trump financial reform, they got a lot of limitation to the housing. Okay, it's not really friendly for financing or if the home buyers. But what on the other side are telling you? If they stop people buying the property for themselves, what is telling them? Telling those lot of home buyer, they are renter. What are you telling them? Continue to rent. Then what's the other side telling the investor? Buy, because we got more renter would love to rent. So that's why the rent is keep on going up when you got more renter. Yeah. So we don't really have to work with the home buyer. You work with the investor. So you can all make money, isn't it? So you gotta have to look at each thing, you have both sides. Then you gotta have to determine what's the positive side. You only see the negative side. You gotta have to find out what's the positive side. That's a positive side. Yeah. For the housing, for the tax deduction reform. Yeah. We all know that, right? What's the highest mortgage you can finance before you can, then you can still deduct on the mortgage interest? What's the limit? What's the highest? Huh? Huh? $750,000. $750,000. Anything more than financing amount. And that's what we call super jumbo. Because anything I think is 630, between 421 or something, to 630 is a jumbo loan. But easily it's a super jumbo anyway. What I mean the super jumbo is they have no fixed rate on 30 years. They only got fixed rate for probably first 3 years or 5 years. Jumbo loan, they can still have a fixed rate for 30 years, but the interest rate is slightly higher than the conventional loan. But sometimes I have the jumbo loan cheaper than the conventional loan. Why? It's because when those particular some of a bank, they are doing a promotion for jumbo loan. So the interest rate could be as good as conventional loan or even a little bit cheaper. It happened. I have a client doing that. Oh, jumbo loan, come on. How much? That's a long time ago, but used to be the conventional loan is about 3.5, and the jumbo loan is about 3.25. Finance over $500,000. Yeah. Okay. And what else? The property tax limit. What's the limit? On the housing you purchase, you cannot even write off the property tax. 1 million. 1 million. So when you are buying those property and some of especially if you look at it. Bay Area, Northern California. Remember what I tell you? What's the median price? Well, that's the last year. I know it may not be accurate. Yeah, now probably more because San Jose just increased 34% last year, right? Yeah. You know, for the within year appreciation. Oh, yeah, right. Yes. So everything what we have here is cheap. Last year, you know, on the Sierra, they say the median price 135,000, but if the adding another 34%, and I'm assuming probably their median price is $1.55 million. That's their median price. Then if you talk about over $1 million property, tons of them, isn't it? Easily. They all live in $1 million home, even $1 million condo. Then they cannot really write off. Then what's it telling you? We'll continue to rent. 1 million. 1 million value of a house. Okay, when you purchase the $1 million, you cannot do the tax write-off.
According to the property value, you're not talking about tax itself.
No. No. Value. Yeah. Yeah, usually we can still write it off. Anything under $1 million, the value. Anything above that, no. And what's the other one? Anything you write off more than $10,000, and that's it. That's the ceiling. So maximum you can write off $10,000. That's it. Doesn't matter mortgage, property tax, 10,000. That's it. Why? It's because they lowered our tax bracket. Okay, like single used to be you can write off $6,000, now it's $12,000. Married couple you can write off $24,000. That's all because they increased this, and also they dropped the percentage of tax bracket. Then you cannot. Then that means you cannot write off too much, you know, on the mortgage part. So, the tax reform is not really encouraging people to buying the house. Sounds like it, but on the other way, you do. What actually I will tell the investor that would encourage the investor buy it because the rent will keep on going up. That's a sign. You gotta have to. Okay, the news actually you see the one, but can you see the backside of the news? That's what we're talking about. What is actually telling you backside of the news? That's it. I will tell the investor that give me the sign the rent will keep on going up. And that's why, you know, even the income property, most of them, they are still under market value. What I'm saying, the rental value, rental payment. So if each income property, you just raise $100 per unit, and look at it. For 4-unit one, you can raise another $100,000 on the value itself. I say, a lot of people didn't really click. Why I'm telling you that is because 4 units, $400 more per month. How much per year? $4,800. But when you calculate backward for the cap rate, same cap rate, okay, and that's because your cost is not going to be more. You already buy the property tax, your insurance, everything is the same, but you just raise another $4,800, and that's easily another 10% more on the value if you do the calculate backward. Yeah, if you're interested, we can all talk about it. You know. Certainly not during the training, but after that. But if the 8 unit, the 10 units one, yeah, that's even more. So when you have more money, you're playing the big toy. Small money, we play small toy. It's okay. And then small money, we just play condo or townhouse. It's okay. So that's why last time I told you all the Hacienda High townhouse sold out, all went into escrow. You look at it. More than 10 is in escrow. Amazing. It's just amazing. So you know what I'm telling? I tell my condo seller, hey, it's about time. Take out for sale. Yeah. Put on the market for sale. I think we can sell it. Because even the price they want, now I have a confidence. Even the neighborhood never sell that price. because I'm going to put on the one in the rolling high. Only got one on a condo for sale, and I'm going to put on the one on the bigger one, 1,300 square footage townhouse in the rolling high for sale. Used to be, I know the appraisal value. They cannot really compare because last year on the same neighborhood they have nothing for sale for more than half year. Then it's not going to be accurate for the appraiser. Appraiser have to be searched next city. If you're looking at, if you're thinking about it, just a 1,100 square footage townhouse for sale in Hacienda High, and they can sell it for $420,000. And what do you think on a rolling high 1,300 square footage townhouse? So those are, then I can, those are, you have to look at the market, and then you can persuade those seller. Okay, bring those house on the market now. Because when they sell that, they have more money to buy the next one. So I can help them to sell it and then buy it. I was still making money. That's our job. Seller representation. Seller represent that unless otherwise specified in writing, seller is unaware. 1, any notice of default recording against the property. Well, it's hard to say. Well, if the seller doesn't pay the mortgage for 3 months, don't tell me. Okay. Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, sometimes you probably didn't see any notice default. I have a short sale property. When I did a short sale, for some reason the lender never recording them a notice of default, even they haven't paid the mortgage for over a year. Because that's in a really far away Abuni town. I never heard about it on the Riverside County. And drive more than it took me about 1 hour and 15 minutes without traffic to get there from my house, Diamond Bar. Think about that. Far. I usually don't do that. That's a referral. I said, okay, fine. Oh, dude, what city is that? Huh? Oh, I never heard about it. Okay. And 2, any delinquent amount due under any loan secured by or other obligation affecting the property. 3, any bankruptcy, insolvency, similar proceeding affecting the property. 4, any litigation, arbitration, administrative action, government investigation, or other pending threatened action that may affect the property or seller ability to transfer it. 5, any current pending process special assessment affecting the property. Seller should promptly notify broker in writing if seller become aware of any of these items during the listing period or any extension period. So that means seller is obligated to let us know if anything happened on those. Okay, so we don't want to be keeping it blind. But certainly, once in a while, what you can do is check on their title. Not just, every time you click on the real list, and if you got a notice default, they will record it. You'll see it. But that's how you tell the seller, if anything happened to you on this, please let us know. Yeah. Especially if you want to be a short sale listing agent, which I really don't want to. Okay? There's lots of hassle. And you pay less. It's not even pay same. Could be a 1 year, a period of time, you pay the same, when I do 1 month. And more works. Number 7, broker and seller duty. Broker agree to exercise reasonable effort and due diligence and achieve the product of this agreement. Unless seller give broker written instruction to the contrary. Broker is authorized but not required to other report disclosure, including those specified in 7C on the bottom. Okay. 2, advertising, marketing, and the property by any method or in any medium selected by broker, including MLS and the internet, and to the extent that permitted by this media, control or disseminate the information submitted to any media. 3, disclose to any real estate licensee, make an inquiry to receive of an offer on the property and an offering price in such offers. So that means the broker is not really is authorized but not require. If you don't really have to order the report when you get a listing, put it this way. But unless some of it you already marked, then we gotta have to get ready. Sometimes, homeowner association, if the seller want to do the property inspection, you can do it. Or structural pest control, that's a termite report. You can always, prepare ahead of time if you wish. Or any others. B, seller agreed to consider offer presented by a broker and to act in a good faith, accomplish the seller a property by amount of the things making the property available for showing at reasonable time and subject paragraph 3F. Reference to the broker or inquiry to any party interest in the property. Seller is responsible for determine at what price to list and sell the property. Refresh your mind. 3F. If somebody, you want to, show it right here. Remember, if they have other people, specify. That's the only, other than that, you have to be, seller have to be, get ready for showing. Then C, investigate the property seller agree within 5 days of the beginning of a date of agreement to pay for the following pre-sale. That's a pre-sale report. Termite, you can probably something you can get for free. General property inspection is not for free. So who's going to pay? Seller. And so the homeowner association, you can order ahead of time. It definitely is not free. And it costs a lot too. D, seller further agreed to indemnify, defend, and hold broker harmless from all claims, dispute, litigation, judgment, attorney fee, and costs arising from any incorrect or incompleted information supplied by seller. From any material fact that seller known but failed to disclose, including dangerous and hidden condition on the property. We're not the property owner. We don't know. If the seller did not tell us, how do we know? Even we try to protect ourselves in every way. But if the seller did not tell us, for example, if this area had a mudslide before and the seller has been repaired, if the seller did not tell us, hardly we'll call insurance agent to find out, right? Yeah. Because I did turn down a $3 million, listing before. Because the issue is they have the mudslide before in the Yorba Linda area. And they actually, years later, they sued the previous owner. Brokerage, listing, buyer's agent, insurance company, almost everybody for $500,000 compensation because they have 2 pools. That the house have 1 pool is big enough. 2, and certainly one of the pool is like pew, drop to the bottom. So they fix up everything. That's after, like, I heard about 4 or 5 years later when they purchased, and they still get a compensation for $500,000. I mean, more or less though, private listing broker paying $20,000. Even listing agent, listing broker, everybody all disclose. This have a mudslide area, and you still get lawsuit. Unfortunately, we're in the job. We'll get lawsuit. That if you make not enough money, who knows? When I got hit, I have to even pay deductible of E&O insurance, and that's not cheap. $5,000. Yes. Yes. And I already knew that. And because seller tell me that, I'm so sorry, I won't take your listing.
But how to avoid that?
How to avoid that? I ask a question. especially custom home. If you didn't know, if they didn't tell you, call insurance agent. That's what I learned. If what this house have any claim before, or in the area, you may not, feel comfortable with. For example, if you want to selling something, right on the house right on the cliff, right on the country, or Palos Verdes, right on the cliff, on the ocean. Well, you want to check or not? I will. Those houses, come on. I don't want to sell that later. Pew, the whole house, drop to the hill. I said, where's the house? No, hey, it's gone. Then, who sell this house? Oh, man. It may cost another lawsuit. Even you disclose everything. Okay? That's why we even got an AVID. You better write a lot. You don't have to make a house so dangerous, but I mean, they say the house built right on the cliff. That means you already know, and so do the buyers know. Then what's the danger? Yeah. Especially, some of a house they just built on like the Palos Verdes, they built on a post, like built on the deck. They built everything, the huge post, sticking on a cliff. Yeah. I don't really feel comfortable if I live those houses though. Even Hacienda High, some of the house, the balcony, get in. And what's inside the balcony? Master bedroom. Yeah, I don't, because if you have a tendency for that fears, then I don't think you will sleep well. Even probably never happened, but why have to torture myself? So that's why and I talked to Quan, and Quan said, "You doing the right thing," because he heard about the house too. He's looking for listing agent. The seller looking for listing agent. So must be, I'm not the only one to turn down. Yeah. Because Quan say, if you took that listing, I'd probably fire you. Even I know maybe he is joking, but I mean, yeah, nobody want to get lawsuit because you can foresee that down in the road, what's the next buyer? If the current owner can sue the previous seller, then what do you think the next buyer, right? I even suggest the homeowner say, did you ever thought about it? Let the house foreclose? I said, why? Because only the lender, the bank, have a total exemption, right? You cannot sue the bank for any bank-owned property. You cannot sue them and say, oh, somebody passed away inside, or it's a marijuana house, or whatever thing happened. They don't know anything. They have the exemption from the court. We don't. We'll get lawsuit. The lender, bank, yes, they got an exemption. You just cannot sue them. Because they don't know about the history, previous history. It's not their responsibility. Number 8, deposit. Broker is authorized to accept and hold the seller's behalf any deposit to be applied toward on the purchase price. We don't hold a deposit anymore because that's the good old way. I don't know. Do you see some of listing agent say, I want to see the copy of your EMD check. Oh, earnest deposit money check? Oh, no. What ages you still live in? Yeah, because I did that and I often forget to return the check back to the client. I still have about 15, 20 years old check. Initial deposit check. I forgot. When I look at the old file, yeah. Huh? Oh, you cannot cash it anyway. Put it this way. Our check is good for, most likely, you probably will notice that our check is good for 6 months at the most. Anything the day, earlier than that, you gotta have the issuer issue another check. I don't think the bank will, let you cash in for those old check. And 9, agency relationship. A, disclosure. The seller acknowledge, accept disclosure regarding real estate agency relationship. You gotta have to sign this form first. B, seller representing broker shall represent seller in any resulting transaction except the specified in paragraph 3F. So the 3F, if like the seller, if you signing those agreement or seller has somebody they want to sell it to, you are off the hook. If they want to sell to a friend or family, a particular person, then since you don't get paid, then you don't have a duty as a listing agent. C, possible dual agent. C, with the buyer. We already notify the seller now. Depending upon the circumstance, it may necessarily be appropriate the broker to act as an agent to both seller and buyers, exchange party, and one or more additional party buyers. Broker shall, as soon as a possible participant, disclose to the seller any election of an act as a dual agent representing both seller and buyer. So that means if the offer you are representing buyer or seller, you gotta have to disclose to seller right away. If the buyer is procured directly by the broker or an associate licensee in broker firm, seller hereby consent to broker acting as a dual agent to seller or broker. In the event of exchange, seller hereby consent to broker collecting compensation from additional parties for service renders provided there is disclosure to all parties of such agency and compensation. Seller understand and agree that broker without the prior written consent to the seller will not disclose to buyer that seller is willing to sell the property at a price less than the listing price. 2, broker without a prior written consent of a buyer will not disclose to seller that buyer is willing to pay a price greater than the offering price. 3, except 1 or 2 above, a dual agent is obligated to disclose known fact affecting the material affecting the value of desirability of the property to both parties. Beside the pricing, bless you, if you're a dual agent, you gotta have to disclose to both parties anything a material affect the properties, but not pricing. Because you're a dual agent, you cannot tell seller, hey, what's the highest price the buyer will pay for, or you cannot tell buyer, say, what's the lowest price the seller will take it. That's not the dual agent. All I can do is that you do your best. Yeah, you do your best. Then I'll present an offer to the seller. That's all I can say. But I know it's like, what right here they say submit the offer, you have to disclose. If you're a dual agent, you disclose the seller right away. Usually what I did, if I got multiple offers, I presented to the seller and I didn't mention which offer is mine. Not yet. Then you let seller decide which offer you think is the best. If it happened to my offer, I say, well, I have to disclose this is my offer, my buyer, and I have to disclose this is I'm going to work as a dual agent if you want to choose this. Why I don't want to tell them right away is because if I tell them right away and they cannot be fair to all the buyers, and they may try to cut your commission. Typical Chinese. They want to, oh, you double-ended. Hey, how about you give me another 1% less? I thought we talk about that, when they're signing the listing agreement. If somebody want to cut your commission, that I will probably offer that. If I'm a dual agent, I'll give you the 1% less. But why don't we put a 6% now? Then if I'm a dual agent, then I'll probably give you 1% less, 5%. How's that? I start with the 6%. If you're the 4%, you want to cut down to 3%, it's your choice. I won't. 4%, bottom line. Flat. But can sellers still negotiating before deciding your own? How about I choosing your buyer and you give me 1% less? Then we choose it. I say, no, I rather don't do that. I would flat out no. For that 1%, no. Especially when you talk about 4% down to 3%. You only make 1% more and you have to take more risk. I don't want to. I'd rather make a 2%. One side. Some people, some sellers, huh? You turn away the money? Yes. I'm not just turning away the money. I turn away the responsibility. You want me to represent both sides? Yes, but you cannot cut my commission. What happened? Working as a dual agent, we have more and higher risk than you work separately because you have the interest conflict. You have it easier to get a lawsuit. If I don't make enough money, why should I have to take those risks? Put it this way. That's it. You want to cut my commission? And if I don't make enough, no, I won't. So usually, when I have the situation, when I work at a dual agent, I'm pretty lucky. I still get my 6% commission when I work on the both sides. Then I say, okay, I work on the both side, but but I'm in control. I tell the seller and buyers, I say the good thing when I work at a dual agent, even I have to take the higher risk. I tell them, I say, I gotta take the higher risk because I gotta make both parties happy. It's hard because you never see a same attorney stand on the court representing both parties, right? Then what do we do here? We are doing, yeah, we are the client same attorney representing buyer and seller. How do you, please them? That's have to be creative. Yeah. So that's why most of some of the Caucasian. That's what I heard. When I get into this field, if you want to stay longer on this career, try to reduce the double end. Yeah, you'll sleep better. You got less risk. Yeah, we'll get lawsuit. Even I know our broker, everybody likes to say, "Why did you do double ended? It's the market's so good. You can double end it." I say, "Yeah, but it's depend on your personal principle. Some people just don't want to do the double end. I have those listing agents that say, James, don't worry, I will not double end. Some of the listing agents, I will not double end any of my listing because that's against my principle. Okay, great. But a lot of them, I see those agents and say, if you don't go through me, submit the listing, you will not get it. What is telling you? I have to double end it. Everybody's different. Yeah. Confirmation. Broker should confirm the agency relationship described above and modify in writing prior to concurrent with the seller execution of a purchase agreement. So that means you gotta, with the purchase agreement, you gotta have to make sure you are representing the seller. And so do the buyer. If you are if you are representing dual agent, you got the same thing. Purchase agreement, you gotta have buyer sign. So you gotta have both agency disclosure, buyer and seller, both. E, potential competing seller and buyers. Seller understand that broker may have obtained listing on other property and that potential buyer may offer or purchase through the broker property that's similar to the seller property. Seller consent to broker representing of the seller and buyer and other property before. During the after and end of this agreement, seller acknowledge recipient, possible representing more than one buyer or seller, disclosure and consent. Yeah, because sometimes you have a same neighborhood, you have 2 or 3 listings. I had that situation before. The street, 6 listings. That looks, very great. When I do open house, I stand on the street, open the door, all of them, because all vacant house, because those are brand new. You get in, it used to be when a good time, you get into the property, you help those investors purchase the property, and you flip them right away. That's a good old day. When you do open house, stand on the street. Which house you like? Go help yourself. Actually, 3 listing is my original investor. The other 3 listing is actually the neighbor saw, oh, this is a hot shot. He has 3 listing. I better list the house with him. That's it. That's all I get. You know, sometimes, you know, your for sale sign is do the advertisement for you. The people think you're a hot shot. Yeah. They never thought about it. It's actually I help those investors to buy the house, and those are the some of newer house because we try to buy the let the investor buy in the last phase, so they don't have to sign the 1 year. Remember, you know, some of a builder they will let you sign 1 year you cannot sell or rent. Then right after we close the escrow, the builder is already gone. They close their sales office because we clean up their inventory, the last inventory. Not only we get a discount price, I don't sign those 1 year agreement. Then I flip the property right away before the buyer even pay the first month payment. That's how good is it? Huh? Me? Flakes? Yeah. I am. Yeah. Yes. That's back to 2004-5, that area. Yeah. I targeting those new builder and flip them. And used to be the builder paid us pretty good, 3% each house.
So what about those buyers? What did they just purchase from builder directly?
Because the builder's already closed, sold out. Yeah, timing. That's right. All about timing. Close. Then you want to buy? You gotta buy through me. What risky?
Investor, just in case, you know, if the price.
So do you think are we under pressure? As a listing agent, we under lots of pressure. Not only I help them to buy it, choosing the floor plan, then I gotta have to help them to sell it, and have to help them to make money. Do you think am I under the huge pressure? Yes, definitely. You think the money is easy? No, not at all. That's why we always tell the seller or buyer, your worry, your gray hairs on my head. Even, you know, I try to get more black hair, you know, if I could. I'd have to try not to get a gray hair, but I mean, that's how you can mention to your buyer or seller. You are worry free since you hire me. See here? What's this? Gray hair. So I make it worry free. I gotta worry a lot because I gotta have to watch and monitoring the whole transaction, whole situation. Yeah. So that's why the especially, you know, woman, you know, join this job, become a career. You know, you gotta have to take good care of yourself. Otherwise, you'll get ages quick. I tell you that a lot of stress will make you ages quickly. Yeah. You probably don't feel it years later. You'll see. You gotta have to, you know, keep it up. Exercise, eat healthy. Yeah. Especially you have to keep in a good mood. Yeah. And we have to get social. I heard on the in Finland they have the they do the actually the test, you know, investigate, you know. So those are people, they live alone, antisocial people. They have 30% of a tendency more on a heart attack, or they will die sooner. Yeah, antisocial people. Even you have a lot of internet, you have they still feel lonely. Okay, you got a lot of Facebook, you got a lot of social media, you still feel lonely. Yeah, so that's the issue. Okay, if those are antisocial. See, that's why I live alone, but I do social a lot. That's you have to keep healthy. Otherwise, you know, you don't have the positive energy, and I don't have a positive energy to share with you if I run up exhausted, right? Yeah. So I keep on learning, educate myself as well, and I share with you, you know, something what I heard is, you know, great idea. I won't hide anything from you. So if you guys can learn more, definitely, yeah, welcome. Number 10, security insurance and showing audio or video. Broker is not responsible for loss of damage of personal or real property or persons. Whether attribute to use the key, safe, and lockbox is showing of a property or otherwise. What do you mean? If it's showing the property and the buyer failed off, not my responsible. So that's why later on, you got to sign on the form on the keyless, key safe. It's because owner got to keep the home insurance active, especially, when it's a vacant property. Because buyer can sue owner if they fill out the house, Third party, including but not limited to appraisal, inspector, broker, and prospecting buyer may have access to and take video, photographs, and the interior of a property. Seller agreed to take reasonable precautions and the safeguard of protected valuable that might be accessed during the showing to the property of the property. Two, to obtain the insurance to protect against this risk. Broker does not maintain insurance to protect seller. We do not. Okay? How many sellers we got? We have no way we can protect you. You got to have your own insurance. Make sure you got your own insurance. Persons visiting the property may not be aware that they could be recorded by audio or visual device installed by the seller, such as nanny cam, hidden security camera. Seller is advised to post notice disclosing the existing security device. Okay, now we're talking about a privacy issue. This is something new on the listing agreement. If seller decided to install on a vacant property, if they decide to install the surveillance camera, you better post it in the front. Smile, you're on the camera, okay? You cannot really hiding it from the buyer. All right, so this is something you got to be aware of it though. So that's why seller is advised to post notice disclosure, because if somebody famous look at your home, you put in a surveillance camera, especially Beverly Hills. Okay. Oh, I got their video. Hey, they look at my house, and you spread out the news, and that's what they are. Somebody, and they may sue you. Oh, wait a minute. Where do this video coming from? Right? So you gotta have to let them know, because that they have the right to protect, especially buyers. Photographs and internet advertisement. In order to affecting the market, the property for sale, it is often necessary to provide a photograph, virtual tool, and other media to buyers. Buyers agree or check it does not agree. The broker may photograph and otherwise electronically capture image of the exterior, interior of the property image for the static and or virtual tool of the property by buyers or others for use by the broker website, the MLS, and other marketing material and site. Seller acknowledge that once image are placed on the internet, neither broker nor seller to control over who can view such image and what use viewer may make the image or how long such image may remaining available on the internet. Seller further assign any right in all images to the broker and agree that such image are the property or broker, and the broker may use such images for advertisement, including post, sale, and broker business in the future. So I would suggest you, if you, before you posted any listing on those photos or even virtual video, show the seller first. So if this photo is okay, that virtual tool, the video is okay. Why? It's because I have those sellers. Hey, James, don't post the. I got a brand new compressor outside. Why? Oh, it's a vacant house. I'm afraid most people will steal it. Okay, I understand. Poof, I delete that. I thought it could be a selling point, but not to the seller, right? Even the brand new stuff. Just like some of a house after they remodel, Next day, before you want to put a listing, everything's got stolen, even including the windows. You know, some of the area like that. They are waiting for you finish up. And in nighttime, they steal everything, even in double panel windows.
Yeah, like some selling agents come to the open house and they ask to do the video themselves. You know, would that be okay?
Then okay, you asking seller, because if the seller is still living inside, they have their personal belonging or any valuable items or even antique. Usually what we do when we talk to the seller, hide it into the garage, wrap it up, or put in the safe. Don't show, because you have a tendency to draw the thief, especially when you are listing $1 million house. Who knows, right? If they allow you to show off, fine. Not sure the last time I showed the video, what the presentation, the listing agent, their virtual tour video. Yeah, they have a show car display in the garage, millions of dollars. Well, certainly that house is $78 million house in Beverly Hills, but seller's okay, I guess. You video everything into it, because those are they hired a professional production company to do the short video, short ad, and probably cost thousands, $10,000, because they even have models of pretty girls as a model. Okay, boy, if I even when you hit lotto, I don't know, can I still afford that house yet? Yeah, very expensive house, beautiful view, around the hills. Yeah. Because they have just the car, just a $1.5 million Bugatti just sit in the garage. The garage is like a showcase, turntable, so that car can turn around and show it off. Yeah, those kinds of garage. Yeah, but what do you think? That garage more like a huge basement. Everything. Yeah, just the garage items, the personal item itself. We can buy $1 million home here already. You just see all those are display. Yeah. So those are as your question. It is though. You gotta ask the seller, because it is when people come doing an open house, they have a tendency to shoot a video. Then they will usually ask, but how about some people they might not ask. Some of the people they don't even ask. They just take the photo, shoot a video. So for those situation happen, just don't put any valuable items show the property unless the seller is okay with it. Because when you leak those video or photos to public, you just tell, hey, I got a valuable stuff, in my home. Come on, steal it. He just welcome the thief. That happened. Unless you got a top-notch security system at home. Okay. Your own seller, your own risk. So that's, or they have a great insurance policy. They can cover everything. Either way. Seller acknowledge a positive buyers and or the B. Okay, 11B. Other persons coming onto the property may take the photo, video, and okay, I covered that, right? Am I? Okay, yeah. So number 12. Another thing is that I keep on thinking about it. When you do the open house, I thought about it before. When we do the open house, I keep on thinking I want to see if I want to buy something on a surveillance camera. When I do the open house, put it over there, facing maybe the front entrance. So anybody come in, you're on the camera. Just in case, anything happen, it protect myself, especially girl, woman, you do the open house yourself. It's also, as a safety, device. Those are, the portable one. You can connect it with your cell phone, and they would record it when somebody walk in, or whatever happened, and you can keep as a video just in case. I just, thought about it. Now because those surveillance cameras are so cheap, you can buy like what those even the small one. I know you can even pin it right here. The small camera, the rechargeable, and they can last hours and hours. You hook it up, connect it with your cell phone, and wherever you go, you take the video. Or you can wear the T-shirt. Smile, you're on the camera. Hey, here's a camera. If you don't want to be a camera, make sure to let me know so that I shut it off. Or you rather put the hidden camera, somewhere in the house, then you put the post-it in the front door. I think that's not a bad idea. I thought about it, but I never actually. Well, hey, you never know. Yeah. So usually, that's why I say during the open house, last time when I mentioned it during the open house training, and I thought about it as well. I say, well, maybe not a bad idea, bring the camera with you, because it's hard to, place that your phone, even your phone can record it a lot. Now the memory is a lot, to our cell phone. You can record it hours, still okay, you got enough, but it's really hard to carry. 12, key safe and lockbox. A key safe and lockbox is designed to hold a key to the property to permit access to the property by broker, cooperating broker, MLS participant, their authorized licensee and representative authorized inspector, and a company, a prospective buyer, broker, cooperating broker, MLS, and associate board of a realtor are not insured against injury, theft, loss, vandalism, damage, attribution to the use of a key safe and lockbox. Seller does, and if checked, does not authorize broker to install the key safe lockbox. If you're gonna have to mention to the seller, if I install the lockbox, you're gonna make sure you have insurance. Okay, if the seller does not occupy the property, seller should be responsible for obtaining the occupant written permission for use of a key safe lockbox. That's why we gotta let the seller signing the KLA. Doesn't matter seller live inside or not. When I install the lockbox, super lockbox, or any lockbox, you gotta let the seller signing the keyless, for the key safe lockbox addendum. How about the one with the tenant? Then tenant need to sign it too. Okay, that's why the KLA on the bottom portion, we let that's a tenant, I need to sign it. Not just a seller need to sign it, so do the tenant. Because tenant live inside, are they give us a permission to install the lockbox? Usually no. I can tell you that already, okay? Even sellers, okay, why not? But the seller, it depends on the tenant. Some tenant, they are okay. You gotta have to explain. You do have a renter insurance, and certainly, we will still ask your permission before the anybody can enter. Don't just go direct, especially tenant inside, because we don't want any trouble. But just in case I would say very rarely the tenant will allow us to put on a lockbox anyway. It's okay. Then what you can do is make showing to condense to maybe like an open house, or maybe just 1 hour showing once a week or twice a week, something like that. And whoever is really interested, they will show up. And whoever they cannot make it, too bad. Or is your buyer willing to trust you as an agent? Buyer cannot show up, and you look at the property for your buyer. That is another thing. Then you submit the offer on behalf of your buyer, especially foreign investor. Yeah. If somebody you have worked with before, they will trust you. If the first time, I know sometimes a little bit tough, a little bit hard, but that's okay. If that's the case, What do we got? FaceTime or whatever, you know, Line, WeChat, we can all use a video, right? So whatever they are in a foreign country or they cannot make it, whatever you walk, show them. Then that's why, you know, when the you talk to the listing agent, am I okay to you know, shooting the video so I can communicate with my buyer? Be creative. Yeah, sometimes just you can show them a video around when I'm in the property, in the premises, so they will look at it at the same time with you. Yeah, and they can ask you any question, you know, whatever they see. Then you can, you know, make the sale or submit the offer, right? Yeah. 13, sign. Seller is allow you to put a for sale or sold sign. I also need a permission too. Okay. Usually default, yes. Unless seller, they are afraid to let the neighbor know they are selling the property, especially high-end property. They don't want neighbor know, and they don't want anybody passing by. They know they are selling sometimes for a safety issue. Another thing is, especially short sale, they are afraid people know. Face. Equal housing opportunity, we all know that. Starting from day one when we practice the real estate, all right? 15, attorney fee in the action proceeding, attribution between the seller and broker enforced compensation provision of this agreement. The prevailing seller and broker shall be entitled reasonable attorney fee and cost from the non-prevailing seller or broker except providing in the paragraph 19A. So that means the same thing, you know, we still going to 19 is like mediation, you know, arbitration, same thing, just like purchase. Number 16, additional term. If there's a property as a bank home, REO, then you need an advisory. Or short sale information advisory. This is assigned by the seller first, if you want to do the short sale listing. Or trust advisory, if it's a trust, living trust sale. Those are, you need to issue those addendum. Then if the people say, how about probate? Well, the probate, you're still signing this. But later on, buyers have to submit it. You got to using the probate purchase agreement, not just a regular residential agreement. You got to mention to if it's a probate sale, you got to let the buyer's agent know using that form. Or you might have to attach a probate addendum because that's part of the buyer side. Because trust advisory, why? Because you need to prepare on what? The living trust article. And that's why seller, you need to prepare ahead of time. But probate, no, sellers already passed away. They don't have anything, any document. So the attorney say, okay, go ahead, sell it, and we'll worry about that, you know, if the court confirmation or not. Because you don't have any document. So that's why you don't have any addendum. Besides, buyer have to provide an addendum to you, for you to sign, for seller to sign. Are you, who? Attorney. Usually attorney or beneficiary. Or future beneficiary. So basically you ask attorney who has a right to sign this listing agreement. You gotta have to ask the attorney. Yeah. Okay, we'll finish here. You know, we'll continue on the 17, management and approval.